YouTube, welcome to Balance Real. Today we're going to discuss the new Tudor Black Bay Blue. A couple of people have called this, well, it's got a bunch of nicknames it seems, but you know, some people have referred to it as the Baby Smurf. Others have sort of called it, I've seen the Cookie Monster floating around. I mean, there's a bunch of different nicknames that people are using for this so far. I don't know if any have stuck. But what it is Tudor's latest release. So this follows up on the original 58, which was a piece I also picked up when it was first out. And I've got to tell you, I prefer this piece. There's been a lot of talk on YouTube amongst the watch channels about this watch, and what's fascinating to me about it is, there's been so much commentary and so many people have voiced opinions, yet haven't actually physically seen the watch in person. So, and I feel with this watch, perhaps more than any, it's really a piece you need to see in real life before you can really comment, because I can tell you from experience, the photos do not even close to do it justice. It really is a stunning, stunning piece. One of my biggest issues with the original 58 was the sort of faux aspects to it. Now this watch does still have the sort of faux riveted bracelet, but that's not really that big a deal. I mean, in an ideal world you probably wouldn't have that, but I can sort of forgive it. But when I wear the original 58, I love the watch, don't get me wrong, and I probably have, not that it matters, more compliments on that watch than any other watch in my collection. That said, I can't lie, every single time I wear it, I look down and a part of me feels a little bit fake. Like, it's hard to put into words, but part of me always kind of feels like a bit of a sellout for wearing a faux watch or a sort of faux vintage watch. And the other sort of interesting thing, or some of the sort of other thing that I think about is how does a faux vintage watch age? How does something that's already designed to look older than it is, how is it received and how does it look when it is that old, I guess. I mean, that's something I'm sure in the decades to come we'll sort of get a better understanding about how that sort of shapes up. But yeah, there's just something about it that on that side of things with the sort of faux aspect that's never really sat well with me. And to tell you the truth, I didn't expect to like this watch as much as I do, but it really is quite a stunning piece. So dimensions wise, it literally is exactly the same as the original 58. It's kind of what I would consider the optimum size in 39mm. The case size is so much better than the larger Black Bays, in my opinion. It's just so much more wearable, and you really notice that when it's on your wrist. I far prefer these case dimensions. The dial is this sort of beautiful blue, which takes on different shades and tones depending on the light. Again, it's something that online it's hard to appreciate from photos. But when you see it in person and you really see how much of a difference it makes to have the blue face with the blue bezel, it really does pop. But not in a sort of it's weird because it kind of pops, but sort of in a subtle way. I guess probably the best way I can describe that is the colours just work. It's a real sort of class, tasteful shade of blue. The bezel action, as you'd expect for a watch of this quality, is really good. It has a lovely play to it. It's got absolutely lovely movement. Every click is just perfect. It goes without saying, everything aligns as you would expect it to do. I mean, and it's a testament to the quality that Tudor has. It's common knowledge, but the quality of Tudor is exceptional, and this whole notion of it being a poor man's Rolex is just completely ridiculous. Clasp and bracelet wise is exactly the same as the original 58. Again, as I mentioned with the riveted bracelet, the clasp itself is again really good quality, as you'd expect, and it does implement those ceramic sort of balls here you can just about make that out, which will just last forever and really make the clasp exceptionally secure. It gives you confidence as you're using it that it's going to stand the test of time. Another thing I prefer on this model as opposed to the original 58 is just the indices and the hands without having that sort of faux loom. It just looks so much cleaner. Now, some people have said this is a sterile looking watch. Yeah, maybe if you're just looking at photos online, but when you see it in person, it really isn't. I think the thing is to not overly compare it with the original 58. Of course, it's kind of easy to say something that's sterile when you're comparing it to something that's massively faux vintage and designed to look warm. This isn't designed to look warm, it's a completely different design. And as I say, it's definitely something that looks so much better in person. If you can, I would strongly recommend getting across to an AD, if any of your local ADs have it. And to see it in the flesh before making too much of a decision on it, because any images you see online, or I can't do it justice in terms of this video, because it really is a real beautiful watch. I would go as far as to say this is the best looking watch that Tudor currently makes. Now, it may not be the best dive watch that Tudor currently makes. I think it's pretty fair to say that would have to go to the Pelagos, given the sort of benefits that has, with the clasp, the increased water resistance, and whether you would consider a titanium case and bracelet a benefit to diving or not. Probably not. Maybe it's lighter. The jury's out whether it's any better in terms of being able to take a knot. But let's be real. This is a very capable dive watch as well. It's 200 meter water resistant, 660 feet. And this will handle anything that you can throw at it. It really is a sort of do-it-all watch. And I actually think it would make a really good daily watch. It's a really good daily wearer. How true this is, I do not know, but another sort of point I'd probably add when discussing this watch is I have been told that this is the only watch that Tudor is going to release this year. Now, how true that is, I do not know. It's a somewhat reliable source, but not necessarily perfect. But if that is the case, then I think what a great watch to add to the lineup and bolster the Tudor offerings. And I mean, it really is a really handsome watch. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hope you enjoy the content. Let me know your thoughts on the watch and whether you're going to be picking one up yourself. Again, if you can take one bit of advice from this video, it would be that don't make a decision on this piece before you've actually seen it, because it really is one of those ones where once you see it in the flesh, it's very hard to say no to. I knew within about 3 seconds that I had to make this purchase. I can tell you from experience, it'd be very hard to say no to your AD if they put one of these in front of you, because it is stunning. Until the next time, have a good one.